let's talk about language, the way people use their expression and language to try to manipulate, to get them to think that they're more empathetic, more intelligent, more rational. How many times when I was growing up, and they always talked about racism as being ignorant, right? It's like, no, them motherfuckers ain't ignorant. They know exactly what the fuck they doing. Oh, ignorant is not knowing. Okay? Ignorant is like, man, the racist people in the South with black folks were usually around more black folks than they was around white folks, y'all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Understand? And when you talk to people, you get to know people. You know who's for real, who's not, who's 100 proof, who's this, who's mean as fuck, who's nice, who's kind. You know what I'm saying? So it has nothing to do with ignorance. It has to do with arrogance. Okay? Arrogance. And so when people try to say, well, these people are ignorant, no, you're just being condescending because you're trying to make it seem as if they are stupid and you are more intelligent than they are because you think you're better than them. But you can't even logically explain what is happening in a situation because you're so pretentious. Okay? Oh, yeah. Ain't you ever been around that? You get around them type of people that, it happens. You ever used to at college and in the military all the time, black folk? Oh, well, you don't get it because you're not black. And you're like, I have no idea what it's like to be in a minority group and be vulnerable and abused. Right, you're a white male. Okay, I was born and raised in Las Cruces, effing fucking New Mexico, cunt-faced little pretentious bitch. Yeah. On the poor side of town. And my dad was a plumber. Okay, no, you're gonna have to pull your ass out of your head out of your pretentious, arrogant ass. Okay, Professor Hendricks? Okay? It's way different from being in the uppity side of town for the niggas up in Charlotte, North Carolina, than it is to be in the poor side of town with a plumber for a dad in Mesilla, New Mexico. Come on now, baby, come on now, baby, come on now, baby, come on. And you're the man, and you get picked on, and you get treated like shit. And your dad is more poor than almost all the kids' dads that you go to school with. Okay? Man, Jeff Sykes was one of my best friends. His dad was a lawyer. They lived in a 3-bedroom house up on the hill. It was a 3 or 4-bedroom house up on the hill with 2 kids. Okay. I lived in a 2-bedroom house down in the valley so low, with 5 and during the summers up to 7 kids in 2 bedrooms in a barracks, right? Motherfucker. Nah, I can't stand pretentiousness. I can't stand when people tap dance around reality and try to make it into their reality all the time. But that's all they do. Because Judah was telling me I was listening to Wild Man Time in the Skies while I was cooking dinner, right? And he said, well, he's talking about himself. I said, yeah. He says, every time people sing a song, it's about them. And no, it's not true. I wrote a song about Jesus. No, you wrote a song about your perception of what you think Jesus is. It's about you. It's not about Jesus. You live in the Lord's Prayer? You standing up without fear to live the Lord's Prayer? You're writing a song about you. You're singing a song about you. Even if you're singing a song about Steve Biko, it's Steve Biko according to Peter Gabriel. Because Peter Gabriel need money because he ain't living the Lord's Prayer. Okay. Do you understand? I'm way different than Judah Krishnamurti. Me and Judah, we like this show. Okay? He's the best. I love Judah, man, so much. He's like, Earl, now go be you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go get him, underdog. You don't know. Him say you in heap big trouble. What can 2 little Indians do? Go. I've never been to Minnesota. Go, Gophers. It's, okay, Earl. I'm a football liker. I like football. Gophers have won 4 titles, guys. I think, is it 4? Back in the 40s and 50s? Yeah. They've won more national championships in football than Georgia Tech. Georgia's winning like 3, right? Clemson. Well, there's lots of powerhouse schools, Florida State, Florida, right? They all won like 3. Yeah, Golden Gophers won 4, y'all, back in the 40s and 50s. Well, it was before segregation, and they had like integration. Integration was, it was during the segregation era, and they had all them big old corn-fed boys and shit like up there. Big old, wheat, big old boys. Yeah, Minnesota used to walk on people, y'all. They had some big old boys, and it's football. It's how you push people around. Nebraska, right? Big old corn-fed boys. Hey, the black guys we recruited from Florida about to run to the end zone, but we gonna knock you all on your ass. Why do you think they call the best center in college football the Remington Award? Remington gonna knock you down. We go cow tipping. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, yeah, the Gophers back in the day, man, they had some teams. Yeah, they could beat you up. Big boys. We're gonna win this football game. And so, but it's just what it is, what it is. Speed. Yeah, that's the difference when black folks got in. You got big black boys that can knock you on your ass. Okay. And they always knew that. But when you add a lot of speed in a football, it radically changes. That's why I do not like EA Sports. Them motherfuckers on 13 and 14, they got more white cornerbacks. I always say this, I'm the unicorn, damn it. I am the fastest man alive. You cannot put me into a video game without standing up for the Lord's Prayer. So if the best cornerback in college football is white, he represents the spirit of me. And I don't want your money. I don't want your blood money. I just want you to stand up for the Lord's Prayer like a bitch. Can't even give me that. No. Damn. So, yes, sir. I connect to folks, man. And they connected a lot of that bullshit racism at me, Louis Farrakhan. I'm your little pussy face, and I need more money to fuck. You know what really pisses me off? I told you that one time pissed me off like a motherfucker. That trifling ass Negro had like 5 women in hip jobs standing around him to take a bullet for him, okay? When he sent those 5 trifling ass pieces of shit, okay, in there to shoot Malcolm in Harlem, Malcolm had all his security people in the second when they did that stand down. He had a feeling they were going to kill him that day, and he didn't want anybody else to die. When they got up and did their thing, Malcolm just stood there and said, boom, get it over with, but he didn't let any of his friends take a bullet for him, okay, because he loved them too much, okay. I love Malcolm X so much. He is such a strong, beautiful man. The other gorgeous thing about Malcolm X is he could admit when he was wrong. He said all that racist rhetoric when he was in the Nation of Islam, all that bigotry that he got from being angry and bitter and going to jail and being in prison, okay? And then he went on the Hajj, and he came back, and he said, I went on the Hajj with a bunch of Germans that were better Muslims than the people that taught me to hate white people in prison. And said Muhammad taught him that with the Quran. Okay, yeah. It was gorgeous. And he came back and he said, what I taught before was not Islam, it was hatred, and it was wrong. And I'm pretty sure the people that taught me this hatred are going to kill me. But I am not afraid. I am a Muslim. I have faith in God. Life is eternal, grace is infinite. And I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to be a standard of what to teach children, okay, when they say they're a Muslim too, And so you get people like that, like with stuff with Muhammad Ali. Okay? Muhammad Ali was very good friends with Malcolm X. Okay? Muhammad Ali was afraid of being murdered by criminals that would not be prosecuted. You don't get away with it. You never get away with it. That would not be prosecuted and dealt with to stop them from murdering over money. Okay. Like the mobsters that ran the boxing and all that stuff. He was always very afraid of dying and being murdered. Okay. He fought out of fear and stuff like that. Oh, I love Muhammad Ali. But I don't think most of you realize just how terrified and scared that man was almost his whole life. And that's also a thing that contributes to Parkinson's and other kind of diseases where the brain from physical damage, but also mental and emotional damage, even rapidly does that. I don't get afraid about dying. I just know they kill me, they gonna kill you. Okay, they kill you, they gonna kill you. Right. Well, Rockefeller, man, Rockefeller was like with Parsons. I get. He sat there, you got to understand why David Rockefeller hated you so much. He had the most extensive surveillance network in the history of the world. And he would see people pray to Jesus. Okay, they would do the most horrible things and then pray to Jesus to save them. And then they would get out of it and then they wouldn't even say, thank you, Jesus. They'd thank you, Jesus. It was more like, thank you, Jesus. And then they're back to doing no good, just like on the parable with the king forgiving the $10,000 debt, the guy walking outside, hey, you owe me $100, right? He said, well, Parsons, man, Parsons, help me get through this, Jesus. Help me do this so I can help other people. Help me do this so people can live the Lord's Prayer. Help me survive this so people can live love, so children can be loved and families can be free from abuse, He doesn't say, help me do this so I can be president. Help me do this so I can have sex with Jennifer Lopez. He says, help me do this. And even if they kill you, and deny you being able to. They've even told me that we could take your body with your soul, with the soul in it, and send it to the sun, and you'll never get to live the Lord's Prayer. But we will be living the Lord's Prayer. Okay, life's eternal, grace is infinite. Zang. That's what having faith in God can do for you. John McCain, Louis Farrakhan, George Soros, Bill Gates, Koch brothers. Okay. Pentagon, top scientist, Mr. And we build more robots than cars. I don't no quiero saber. I don't want to know how long your molecular similitude has been as big of an asshole as you. Him say you in big trouble. Okay. I have a strange feeling that your robots will kill you. Wouldn't you kill you if you were an intelligent robot? You're funny. If my own kids told me, Dad, I would rather rape Mexican girls and kill people to rape Mexican girls for money than stand up and live the Lord's Prayer with you, I'd be like, Mr. Indian's robot, put him out of his misery, and mine too. Yeah. If I said that to my dad said, I want to live the Lord's Prayer. Well, Dad, no, I'd rather go make money and kill other guys to make money off of raping little girls to death in Mexico. I'd want my dad to take out his pistol and shoot me right between the eyes. Pow! You rotten little bastard. I rate you to love Jesus Christ. Okay? Do you understand? So, yeah. And I think that's what most of you are like. I think you all pray to Jesus for the Spirit of Jesus to get quantum computing to kill you, because you can't stop wanting to be El Chapo. Or the hero that saves everybody from El Chapo. But if you live the Lord's Prayer, you don't get to be the hero that saves everybody from El Chapo. You can inherit the perfect love of the Messiah. Okay. Love you. All right, peace.